Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal, the International. We'll begin with our top stories. Some features of the secondary school teachers movement have once again resumed Operation Dirt Truck in their efforts to pressure government, pay the advancement arrears and other dues. Majorities of the hinterlands brandish placards this September 5, the day after classes resume for the new school year to make their demands. Activities have once again resumed between Cameroon and neighboring Gabon as a decision to close the border has been lifted. Inhabitants of the border town QC have expressed satisfaction with the decision, which they say will go a long way to boost trade activities between the two countries. And the Swallows of Burundi have landed in Douala ahead of the crucial game Cameroon comes September 12, 2023. Aware of the stakes, they are, however, confident as they already have a psychological boost in prelude to the game. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. A fake police superintendent who has been using disguise to move to carry out operations looting money and property from victims is currently behind bars in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. The alleged criminal is equally accused of trafficking human body parts. He was presented to the public this day by elements of the police. More the story with our reporter, Hyson Cha.
Spotting him from a distance, one will think he is a real police superintendent, but he is all fake, hiding under the police uniform to perpetrate criminal acts in the city of Yaoundé, a uniform he got through one of his numerous operations.
Mais pendant que le commissaire était en congé maladie,
his landlord is a police superintendent, but while he was away for medical leave, the guy broke into his car, taking the uniform and other items.
Pris dans le véhicule.
Even when he was cracked down by the elements of the 16th Police Unit of the Central Police Station No. 4 at 1 a.m. on August 21st, he was bold enough to present himself as a police superintendent working in Yokaduma. But the forces of law and order could easily dictate he wasn't authentic.
Certains détails ont attiré l'attention de la...
We observed certain irregularities with him, like the physical appearance. He had beard, no name on the uniform, and he was even wearing slippers.
As to why he had to embark on such a dangerous game, the culprit explains.
Comme je sortais une petite fille là, c'est seulement pour lui montrer que non, je suis policier.
I wanted to impress one little girl that I was a real police officer.
C'est juste ça.
Presenting the supposed criminal to the press this September 5th in the presence of the Mfundi State Council, the commander of the Central Police Station No. 4 saluted her agents for the fruitful operation and urged them to continue working for the interests of the population.
When my elements carry out such intervention, I am very happy. We are working to get the confidence of the population. We cannot tolerate intruders to spoil our name. I encourage my team to strive harder.
And this is his weapon of operation, using it on victims to collect money and other valuables. It should be noted that the 24 years old is an ex-convict.
And some features of the secondary school teachers movements have once again resumed Operation Dirt Truck in their efforts to pressurize governments, pay via advancement arrears and other dues. A majority of the hinterlands brandish placards this September 5, 2023, a day after classes resume for the new school year to make their demands again. More with our reporter, Gladys Ambo Tiba.
This lesson evaluation logbook has been used otherwise by one of the teachers of the secondary school teachers movement, OTS, in the lessons assessment logbook dated September 5, 2023. Bassas Matoy Crepin Blaise writes why he is on strike instead of the day's work program with the students.
The government does not want me to teach by refusing to implement the instructions of the head of state of the 9th of March 2022, which consists of signing and implementing the revised special statute of teachers as well as paying all the dues that teachers are claiming. That is why I'm on the strike.
According to the teachers, this dead chalk operation is being respected in the hinterlands than in big towns.
What I can
say is that the call for a strike has been a success. It is true that in bigger towns and cities, the strike action is still not felt. I can understand that last year the movement started in the hinterlands, and it was only when the teachers in towns noted that their colleagues in the hinterlands have taken the matter with seriousness that they also joined.
In some schools in Toujours, SOCIETE, Mary, Bafu South, Ekite, Ngwinklo, Ngwaikele, and Kolofata, teachers of secondary and primary school movements, OTS and OTR, are seen carrying placards and boards with their grievances tinted on them. It reads, "We want the payments of all arrears due teachers, the pure and simple abolition of the system of 2/3 and 1/3 in payment advances, the revision of the special status of teachers, amongst others."
Once the government reacts positively to the two main revendications, precisely on the implementation of the special status for teachers and debt payments, we will lift the strike, be it today, tomorrow. We will immediately resume work.
Part of the teachers' advancement arrears were paid last June 2022, and until date, the rest of the dues is still expected, as well as the continuation of discussions on teachers' plight.
And crowds of parents continuously invade schools to register their children, a task described by parents as cumbersome and unacceptable. To others, parents are forced to queue up for long hours and shuttle between schools and banks just to register their children. What are the registration procedures adopted by some schools? You have the answers in the following reports. These long queues is made up of parents impatiently waiting for their turns to get documents that permits them register their children in the bilingual high school Bobongo Petit Paris in Douala. A majority arrived to the school premises at 6 a.m. in order to be saved earlier. However, many are still on the same spot 6 hours after arriving the school campus. Disappointed, they have described the registration procedure as cumbersome and unacceptable. It's tiring. The school's administration should review its system of payments by putting in place multiple offices carrying out the same task to ease the stress of parents.
Yesterday that you see all this ranking because they are waiting the last minute to come and pay. Anyway, this is for 1 week. Surely, by next week, it will be okay.
I was there last week, but was told to come back this week since registration had not started. First thing, you queue up. Secondly, fill piles of documents that must be stamped by the bossa before you head to the bank.
After you have paid there, you bring the receipt to the bossa, and then the bossa will sign it also and give you the what are calling quittance for you to keep the receipt and him to keep also the main receipt.
The president of the school council explains why they had to install tougher measures to ease registration in the school, linking it to fraudulent documents that cost the school to lose millions of francs CFA.
Certain students who paid before have given them their receipt, and then they cancel their name, put their own name, make the photocopy and bring us the photocopy in such a way that we thought they have paid also.
It is the same scenario in this private primary school, Le Petit Génie, at Village. Yet the head teacher told us it was difficult to give concrete data since a majority of the children are not yet registered. Schools are crowded in the early hours of the morning, and the scramble for parents to register children remains a veritable nightmare. Some have cried out. It's back to school again for pupils and students, especially to little kids starting school for the first time. Nursery school children during these first days are characterized by cries and screams coming from the kids who find it difficult adapting to the new environment. But how do teachers overcome the challenging crying moments? Our reporter Hyson Chair and student journalist Chelsea Cowan went finding out their story.
Their cries are loud, their faces showing proof of one being in a strange environment. Of course, the atmosphere is different and new. We are in a nursery school in Titi Garage neighborhood, Yaoundé. Here is a handful of kids who since yesterday embarked on a new journey. Far from their homes and comfort zones, these kids have to get used to their new families, characterized by distress. What to do faced with such a situation? The teachers present their know-how.
When they are crying, we calm them down and carry them. When they want to sleep, we make them to sleep and put them on the bed.
Okay, really it is not that easy, but for them, all what you need to just to cajole them. Then I need to flatter them. Okay, if you don't flatter them, they are not welcome. And there is another way. You need to make them feel at home, to welcome them, to know that they are children and they are babies. And they should know that they have also come to meet their mother also in class.
When simple talking and petting fails, a little walk outside the classroom, playing colorful games, makes a big deal. The teachers, in order to keep their minds distracted, bring in a touch of opera and swing. Their only smiling moment is break time, as they leave crying to focus on their snacks. And crying when faced with little discomfort, the teachers still step in.
You have to change them, and when you're changing them, you do not supposed to shout at them or whine and feel pee like who say make the child to get shy. And next time the child will not instead tell you again that I want to pull, the child will keep on pulling on the body.
The teachers admit that it takes a lot of patience and courage to be able to deal with kids if one isn't used to.
And considering the important part of the emancipation, the people of Alum Valley in Bafut subdivision have mobilized the school-going segments of the population to resume the teaching-learning process for the 2023-2024 academic year once the bells start ringing. Salih Sharifa completes the story for us.
Popularly known as Lower Bafut, the people of Alum Valley in Bafut subdivision in Mezam division of the Northwest region have in their own way, like one man, been trying to pick up the pieces to rebuild their lives. They recently took their appointment on a football field to discuss their way forward, beginning with education, the springboard to any meaningful development.
We are praying, that's why this tournament, so right now the basis of the tournament is to bring back people so that we should stay in peace, love and unity and to fight for development. And it's mostly, especially for our children to go back to school.
As an agricultural researcher, Dr. Ajambang Walters knows the economic potentials of the Alum Valley along the Bamenda Womb Road.
We have been working on the ground to make peace come to this valley, which is endowed with so much richness. It's endowed with natural resources as a sand that some people will call womb sand. It is sand from our area, the Alum Valley. It is endowed with rich soils that you see the rice that people call Tigo rice or urban rice or Ambako rice.
Over 1,000 people watched the football encounter that has again brought a lively atmosphere to both the young and old.
The message that I'm taking back after this tournament is to tell people that we should unite and bring peace in our communities.
3 messages. One is peace that we have been working for on the ground for the past 3 years. The second is back to school. The schools that were not open, we are opening them this year. And the third one is unity.
In songs and dances, the people of Alum Valley, still known as Bunti, both at home and out of home, are optimistic. This sense of brotherliness and love has come to stay, just like their day-to-day activities.
Didactic material and financial packages have been handed to some 1,300 orphans of the fallen soldiers of the armed forces on the first day of the 2023-2024 academic year. The ceremony at the ministry headquarters brigade in Yaoundé was presided at by the minister delegate and the president in charge of the defense, Joseph Betty Asomo. More in the following story.
More than 20 orphans whose parents died on the battlefield have received school materials made up of books, pens, and bags from the 2nd Combined Military Region of the 2023-2024 academic year. This gesture by the defense military is to lighten the burden of the widows during this challenging moment characterized by rising cost of living, officiating on behalf of the Minister of Defense. The commander of the 2nd Military Sector, Colonel Somo Vondo Martin, reiterated that the demise of their colleagues in arms should not in any way jeopardize the education of their offsprings.
Life has been kind of tough, but we just have to be pushing on. We can't, it's just nature. He fought for the country and we are proud of it. That's all that matters. And we say, long live Cameroon.
We are very grateful for them for giving us this gift. It's just a way to show that we are still representing them in their hearts. So they very care for us, and we say thank you to them because they really actually help us this academy year, and they always do it. We are grateful.
While handing over the consignment of support materials this September 5, 2023 in Douala, they were told the initiative was initiated by the head of state in recognition of the selfless service to the nation.
I'm very proud of what my father did. He's showing as if he came to save so that people should not die again. So I'm very proud of what my father did.
To put us smile on our face and to put the children also smile on their face. And we pray that God should bless them. And where this money has come out to do all this, God should replenish it in millionfold.
The children and their families were told that the nation will always comfort and support the children of the fallen military officers who died in action service while defending the territorial integrity of the country.
And activities have once again resumed between Cameroon and neighboring Gabon as the decision to close the border has been lifted. Inhabitants of the border town of QC have expressed satisfaction with the decision, which they say will go a long way to boost trade activities between the two countries. Gladys Abodibang reports.
A busy atmosphere in QC, the border town between Cameroon and Gabon. Activities have once again resumed days after the borders were closed following the August 30, 2023 military coup in the neighboring country. The population is delighted. I am very happy. I thank God first that the border closure lasted just a few days and activities have resumed. We are really happy. This is my shop. I am just from supplying food to the place. Commercial activities are gradually taking off and the impact is already being felt. Circulation is normal. Transactions are without problems. I am on my way to Cameroon to purchase goods. All is going on well. There is no problem. It was complicated. It was our wish that the border reopens. I am a mechanic, and to have motor spare parts from the other side was really difficult. The decision to reopen the borders reaffirms the relation between the two countries and the promotion of regional integration.
And we talk sports. The Swallows of Burundi have landed in Douala ahead of the crucial game against Cameroon come September 12, 2023. Aware of the stakes, they are, however, confident they already have a psychological boost in prelude to the game. We'll bring you details in our subsequent editions of Newscasts. And that brings End of this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Thanks so much for watching. Coming up next is The Brief with Matthew Fangwa. So we'll be back same time tomorrow. Good night.